The Predator was released September 14th, 2018, directed by Shane Black, and stars an all-star cast to revive the series that hasn't had a movie since 2010. And right off the bat, this is much better than either AVP film or Predators. I won't say it's the best in the series because the original will always hold that spot, but this was a welcomed return to the franchise, and honestly, I'm a huge fan of it. Basically, the plot isn't super deep. A predator crash lands on Earth and starts taking out members to an army squad. However, the captain, McKenna, played by Boyd Holbrook, escapes and is able to steal the predator mask and arm cannon, which he pays to ship back to his P.O. box, but unfortunately, his son Rory, played by Tremblay, who has Asperger's and gets bullied for it, ends up finding the shipment and actually manages to understand the alien tech and activate all of it. While this is going on, McKenna is taken by the government and put into custody after seeing an alien, obviously. He's put in what's referred to as Group 2, which consists of another team of misfits, just like the original Predator. Each character has their own trait that they play off throughout the entire movie. Coyle tells jokes, Baxley has Tourette's, and so on and so forth. But frankly, I actually enjoyed all the characters. Again, just like the original film, they play off each other exceptionally well. Each cast member seems to be having an awesome time filming, and overall I didn't feel like anyone was miscast. It all just flowed very well. McKenna and his new group end up taking over the police bus they're in, and while they're chasing down the Predator, they meet up with Casey Brackett, played by Olivia Munn, who's a scientist brought in to assist with the Predator. She passes out and wakes up with all of Group 2 staring at her, but after she calms down she agrees to join them. Anyway, back to Rory. He's having trouble deciding what to wear for Halloween because he doesn't want the bullies to recognize him, so he ends up wearing the Predator mask as his costume. But when another bully throws, I think, a tomato at him, the mask launches a rocket at his house and kills him with no repercussion whatsoever. But the bullies are afraid of him now, so that's kinda cool. Rory just ends up dropping the mask and running to his nearby ballpark. Right around this time, a much larger alpha male mega predator lands on Earth with his two predator dogs, which were pretty awesome, and the dogs wind up finding Rory, but right as they're ready to attack, Group 2 rushes in to save the day, killing one and training the other to just sort of walk around them for the rest of the movie. He's pretty worthless, really, other than sort of guiding them to the mega predator towards the end of the movie. That's about it. Whatever. Fast forward and the mega predator kills the smaller one, leading the humans to believe possibly they've started hunting each other, but really the smaller predator came to Earth to try and stop all the other predators from coming and mutating with the human race, because the predators are now going planet to planet mutating with the strongest and smartest beings, so they can grow even stronger themselves. It's kinda badass, honestly. The humans, however, don't really catch wind of this until they start shooting at each other, and the mega predator says basically, "It's been fun watching you kill each other. Now I'll give you a head start before it's my turn." Also, the mega predator wants the 8-year-old boy Rory as his prize because, as the movie tells us, Asperger's isn't a mental disorder, it's actually the next step in human evolution. So yeah, okay, I'll take their word for it. Anyway, the rest of the movie really is one giant battle between the remaining humans and the mega predator. Overall, it's pretty awesome with some pretty heart-stopping death scenes. Obviously, as always, the humans end up winning and the surviving members all seem to have gotten jobs in the government, even Rory. And I guess they lived happily ever after, at least until the sequel that's teased at the ending comes out, so whatever. Okay, so overall, I thought the movie was fine. It was a good addition to the Predator series, but in general, there's still a lot that bugged me. The explanations for almost anything were just some made-up mumbo-jumbo you're supposed to believe at face value. There's hardly any tension because the characters are constantly trying to be funny. The humor isn't even bad, and honestly, it lands most of the time. It's just not the right movie for comedy. Not all the time, anyway. The character design as far as predators went was pretty awesome, can't complain about predator dogs, and the normal-sized predator was completely practical effects, and they look, in my opinion, even more realistic than the CGI mega predator. But I understand why it had to be CGI, at least. It is like 12 feet tall. Again, the acting is pretty fantastic from just about everyone. Tremblay sometimes wasn't great, but he's young, I'll let it slide. And overall, the story was fun to follow, and it fit the Predator vibe fairly well. The biggest complaint plot-wise I have is just the runtime of the film. It could have been cut back big time. However, in the end, I still enjoyed myself, and this is definitely a movie I'll be coming back to eventually, and I still think it's worthy of the Predator title, and worth seeing at least one time. So for all these reasons and more, I'm giving 2018's The Predator a 7 out of 10. C.